I was born and bred at 37 Military Hospital.
37 Military Hospital.
Yes.
Tell us that story.
Well, you know, it's actually a funny story because my understanding is when I was born at the hospital, they switched. You know, back then in the 70s, the kids had illness when they were born. So they switched me with another baby.
No.
And yes. And my mother was like, they brought her to breastfeed me. She said, "This is not my baby." And they insisted. So she took every strength she had and went into the other wards, and she said she found a lady just about to breastfeed me, and she snatched me. So the joke is, I tell her all the time, "How did you know that I'm yours?"
That's
right?
the question
I
I was
said,
gonna ask you.
"Maybe I'm not your kid."
I know.
But I have a birthmark.
Oh, she has the same birthmark too.
Yeah, I have a birthmark.
But hold on. Is mommy still alive?
Yes, she's in the United States.
Have you been able to talk about this story? Because, well, maybe because I don't have kids yet, but how do mothers know? How does she know?
Oh, you know, I'm a mother. You know, instinct.
You're kidding?
Yes.
So that's just how she knew this wasn't my child.
Yes.
You're a miracle. You could have ended up in another home. I see. So then from then, you still lived in the barracks, I'm sure?
Yes.
Okay.
We lived
Take
in
us through it.
Barracks all our lives. The last place was at Takrady at the 2nd Battalion. My dad was the commanding officer there. And we enjoyed going to the military schools, you know, kind of lived a privileged life,
of course.
Right? We were shielded from a lot of things. So, for example, you know, we had maids, guards, we had cooks, all of that. And it's kind of like a baby in a mother's womb, right? You are protected. And then when the coup happened, you see the real Ghana. Yeah.
So that's what you mean by you were shielded from many things.
Yeah.
You didn't see the reality of life then.
Yes.
But when the coup came in,
Yes.
was when you were like, oh, so this is reality.
That is correct.
I'm sure many people are wondering. She's talked about a military man. She's talked about coups and all. Her dad used to be a very popular military man. Tell us about Daddy. What's his name again?
His name is Lieutenant Colonel S.K. Ofusua-Pierre, retired.
I see.
Yes.
But he's still alive.
Yes, he is, thank God.
What do you remember about Daddy when you were growing up? So it was 37, it was Takrady, it was Kwewa Betifi. Where else?
That's it.
Okay. What do you remember? How was growing up like?
Growing up was fun. Bemakam was one of the places we grew up, so I actually visited there when I came.
Right.
And Daddy will take us every weekend. He will take us to the beach.
Okay.
And he'll pick up all our friends and some of my cousins, and we'll spend the weekend Saturdays at the beach. And after that, we'll go to Cantonment. He'll get us some, you know, food and stuff like that, and then take us home. But he was a strict military man.
Of course.
And you know, it got to a point where I remember telling him, "I'm not one of your soldiers. I'm your daughter."
Because he was too strict, right?
Yes.
How many are you?
There is a total of 5 of us.
How many girls?
Just 2. I'm the oldest, then I have a younger sister. And I have an older brother and 2 younger brothers.
I see, so 5 in all. Yeah. But in all of this, where was Mommy?
Mommy was in the United States.
She wasn't even in Ghana here?
No.
So Dad raised you all by himself?
Yeah, with the help of family and others.
And of course, you mentioned that you had cooks, you had butlers and all that, so it was easy for him to move around the service and then take
and then my
care of
grandmother
you.
would sometimes be there, so we always had someone, family member.
So was Mommy the reason you finally migrated to the United States? Because I knew there was a London in some part.
Yes.
Okay.
Mommy was the reason we went to United States. We were in London after the coup. We went to London, and then because Mommy was in the United States, we went to, of course, we wanted to live with our mother.